Hello. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of the Kamen Rider ZEZTZ-udan. How's everyone doing on this fine Saturday night? Oh, today is the day we finally learn about Nem. Today we finally learn about what's going on with Nemu-chan, what her dealio is. We're going to find that out here tonight on the program. How's everyone doing today? Excuse me. Water went down the wrong pipe. Nice. How's everyone doing tonight? How's everyone doing today? I hope y'all are excited. I hope y'all are ready because we are about to answer some of life's biggest mysteries here tonight. We are so ready it hurts. We are so ready. Oh, man. By the way, if you can't tell what that music is in the background, I've been getting into 2XKO a lot. And I left the game on and I thought, okay, this music got a vibe, so we're going to let it run for a little bit. This little moving right out. Let's do a little swivel. I like this theme. This is like good. I don't know what it is. It's just funky. It's like great vibe music. You know what I mean? Great vibe music. Doing a little dance. Let's do a little dance. But ladies and gentlemen, welcome into the ZEZTZ-udan, the show where we live react to Kamen Rider ZETZ and then have a nice discussion and throw out our predictions for the next episode. That's how the show works, so hopefully you guys will enjoy tonight's show. This is the big one, because it feels weird for them to actually tell us, hey, this is what's coming in this episode if it's not about to be a big deal. Are we about to see, like, Nemu-chan, are we going to finally... Is she going to become an agent? Or will we find out that she is an agent? Like, there's so many questions going on, but I think this more personally ties into her past. So, I don't know what it'll reveal. I had my predictions. I do believe that the possibilities of her possibly being in a coma, being a coma patient, that was brought up. I don't think she's dead. Someone, I think we speculated that she possibly may no longer exist in the real world, but I don't know. We do not know what is going on with Nem, but we're going to find that out in today's episode. And I, for one, am excited. I am excited. So, we are going to see what happens here tonight. I'm excited. We are 5 minutes away from the main attraction, from the main showtime, baby. It's almost time. Let's get ready. Let's get in the mindset. Let's go ahead and recap real quick before we hop into the cinema room. Let's recap real quick what I predicted last show. So I did mention my big belief. Obviously, jumping ahead a little bit, my big belief is that in some way, shape, or form, Nem is permanently in the dream world. By what way, I didn't specify. We did throw out a few ones, but the big one that I'm like feeling the strongest is coma patient. Now, I could be wrong, and if I'm wrong, you know, I will gladly admit defeat on that. But to me, it feels like that would be the only way that makes sense. Because we're talking about sleep. We're talking about dreams. So, for someone to be perpetually in the realm of dreams, it would only make sense for them to be in a coma. That would be the only logical conclusion. Oh, wait, gotta mute that. Hold on. That spooked me. That's I don't wanna catch a case there. They actually started it early. That's crazy. So the counter is on. So if you guys aren't watching on the main Tokusatsu channel, click the link in the pinned comment, in the pinned chat message, to go there. Because again, I don't mind if no one's watching me during the show. I would much rather y'all come back after the show and watch my reaction, or at the very least, have me on in the background. But again, I would actually, you know what? I take it back. I would rather you just go watch them and then come back. Because here's the thing: I don't want like my reactions and stuff to get in the way of your enjoyment of the episode. So if you don't have the Shoutcast feed up, the Tokusatsu feed up, you're gonna want to get that up right now. And like I said, I don't mind if you mute me or like leave and then come back after. By all means, I would appreciate it, regardless if you would just come on back and we can speculate some, because that's what we do here. The show is mainly about speculating. It's mainly about putting out our theories for the future. That's what the ZEZTZ-udan was formed on, and that's how we thrive. I'm always looking at the comments post stream as well. So by all means, if you have me on right now, put me on mute. Go over to the Tokusatsu feed, watch the episode, then come on back after. That's what I'm saying. No, you're waiting? Oh, you're just chilling here, Kamen Rider Bake? Good to see you, man. Good to see you. Hold on, let me fix that, because I just realized I have the wrong chat box open. Oh, there we go. It takes a moment for YouTube comments to show up on the feed. Because I don't know, YouTube's weird with sending information. Nox looks like a problem. No, Nox is a problem. I will grant you that, like, straight up. Nox is a problem, but how much of a problem? That's what we're going to find out, because he's actually going to directly interact with ZEZTZ this episode. He's going to directly meet up with our boy Baku and actually, like, reveal himself to him. That's what we got off the preview, so we're going to see just how much of a problem this guy is. We're going to see it. So, I, for one, am excited. I'm hopeful. Let's, Henshin's gonna be crazy. I hope so, but I hope it's not that weird white suit that was making the rounds, because it just feels weird. When does it come out? It goes live in a minute and a half. So if you go to the pinned chat message in chat, if you go to the pinned comment, it'll actually take you directly to the main Tokusatsu feed where you can watch it. So it'll come out in exactly a minute and 10 seconds. So if you're gonna want to get that up in another tab, and then like you can put me on mute or have me on. I don't know what you want to do, but by all means, I would rather prefer y'all watch the episode and then come on back, because honestly, I think they need the numbers more than I do. I'm just here for my reaction. That's what it is. Ah, Roofland. Anyway, so I just hope it's like a difference, because I feel like the suit that the leak that's been rolling around regarding the Nox's suit, I'm not a fan of. Right? Like, I feel like that is just weird direction. Right? Like, you got the guy with the full black bodysuit, and then you just polar opposite him for the... Yeah, I really hope they do something a little bit more unique with Nox's suit. If, in fact, he is a writer. We don't know that yet. Everyone's saying he is, but I don't know if he is. So, all right, it's time to go. Let's get over to the cinema. And let me go ahead and close this game here in the back. There we go. Let's get ready, folks. 3, 2, 1. Here we go.
俺はよろず幕極秘防衛機関コードに所属しこの世の悪を撲滅する
His mission is to eradicate evil,
という夢を
baby.
見ていた普通の好青年だところがそれは正夢となり
Now you're a
他
real...
人の夢に
He's a real
悪
boy.
夢を止める本物のエー
He's
ジ
a
ェ
real
ントになる
boy.
さて今夜のミッションも遂行してみせようか
Okay, that's very nonchalant. That tells me something radical is about to happen.
Escape with all the prisoners.
Oh, yeah. Okay, this is some...
Good luck.
This is some Gaim level shit. What is this? There he is. This is some Gaim
ここは
level
監
shit.
獄閉じ込められてる捕虜は俺を除いて3人
There's 3 people locked in here.
ここはどこ？私たちが何したっていうの？
落ち着くんだ、レイコ。
Are these Nem's parents?
おやすみしょっぱなから大ピンチの夢だな
今夜の私たちって捕虜？
I love how even as a prisoner she's stylish.
でも彼とは知り合いか？
え、ああ、うん。夢の中でだけ会う人。ね。
そちらこそネムちゃんとはどういうご関係
え
で？
How do you know him? You're his there.
家族。
His body jostled
お
on
父
that.
さんの美女暇すみにお母さんの玲子。
Yep, it's her parents.
じゃないか。これはますます俺の腕の見せ所だな。
He's gonna break the chains. Do it. Do it. Hey, there he is. My man's showing out already. He's like, those are my girlfriend's parents. I gotta show out, baby. That's what it is.
セブンは手先が器用だから。
そういうこと。
He just snaps and it comes off. What is this bullshit? What's that good bullshit?
後についてきて。
It seems simple enough.
楽しいわね。
It seems simple enough. Now, the irony of this is, is it Nem's dream or her parents, or one of her parents' dreams? There's the big irony there. That's the big question. Because the show has thrown us curveballs in the past. So it's not crazy to believe that this could be her mother's dream or her father's dream and not directly Nem's dream. But it does involve her. So in a sense, we're still not in her psyche. You know? Holy crap, that's a lot of buzzsaws. What the fuck are these buzzsaws?
このままじゃ先に進めないぞ。
No problem。夢を叶えるカプセルの力があればな。
Impact!
失礼。ネムちゃん背中に。
はい。
He's about to do something real risky. Oh god, the man just did leg day in like 3 seconds.
脅かさないでくれ。
何なのここは。
この監獄のどこかにナイトメアがいるのは間違いない。
Yep, I mean, that's a surefire bet. There's the Knoxman. There he is.
この心の迷宮を見抜けるか?
Can you find your way through this maze of the mind? That is baller. That is fucking great. Already we're at a 10 right now. Already we're at a fucking 10. I'm gonna mute the audio right here. Again, I don't want to catch. I need to start getting into that habit because I don't want to get in like a copyright case. But this intro is so good. Gold, hi. That is 10 stars. Yeah, we're 10 out of 10. It's 10 out of 10. How you doing, Gold? Gold star, how you doing? But yeah, this is amazing. This is just, we're already at a 10, and like he's gone through, which means they're gonna start throwing information at us really quick after the intro, I think. Oh my god. Just, it's so already. Do you like Kamen Rider ZO's? I love ZO's belt. Here's the thing. I'm not a big fan of the series until Decade came in, but I liked ZO's belt. I do love the ZO belt. I love that. Oh, big. This is huge, man. So we're about to get bombarded with a lot of info, like right now, after the intro. This is. Oh, I'm just excited. I'm excited. Here we go. Okay. I remember that symbol was what we saw in Nox's book. That's what we saw in Nox's book last week. So if anything, what he was saying was part of the puzzle. What Nox said at the end of last episode was part of the puzzle.
下がって。
Holy shit.
Stream.
Did he get any new capsules before coming here?
少し休まないか。
そうだな。
Where it's raining? My man just sitting there all chilling
ねむちゃ
shit.
ん、何か家族の中で悩み事とか問題はない？
え？
この夢には君たちファミリーの中の誰かの深層心理が関わってる可能性がある。
さあ、本当の家族じゃないから。
Wait, what? His body moved!
ね
What
む
the
ちゃんファ
fuck?
ミリーじゃなかったの？
今夜はそういう世界観なんだって思って演じてまし
Of course.
それを早く言ってよ。ねむちゃんの親になる夢を見ている謎の夫婦か。
Huh. Okay, so it's not entirely in the prison. Okay, so weird. You for they're in the thing, dude. Well, okay, I need to go back and read that. That was a lot of text I wasn't getting in one shot.
おはようございます。何か事件でも？
おはようバク。
僕？
ブラックケースだ。
かどうかはまだわかりませんが、奥多摩にある採石場にミステリーサークルが。
Oh shit.
この模様。俺が今潜入してる夢で撮った画像です。
え？
てかしたぞバク。映っている彼らは何者だ？
自称ネムちゃんの両親ですが、素性はわかりません。
なんすか？称号。
はい。
Okay, so Fujimi has this weird
さて、ナイト
has this weird habit of like has this weird habit of calling everyone by their first name, which is not normal in Japan. So I don't know what that's about.
マシーナリーは機械の力。
Kikai. Ah, going for two.
プロジェクションは光学迷彩の力か。
公安のデータベースに該当者はいません。
そうか。初動捜査は難航しそうだな。
Okay, so mystery couple not in the prison
Yeah.
database.
勘の鋭い人に聞いてみますか。
知ってるよこの人。
本当に？誰？
ネムちゃんが所属する事務所の美女木社長。
マジで？
まあ雰囲気はだいぶ違うけど間違いないよ。よくロケで一緒になるし。
次のロケいつ？
はい、急に
いつ？
なんでよ。
いつ教えて。
言わないし。
お願い。
はるかと
ダンボール先輩の。
Okay, just two randos.
はるかちゃん、最近ダンボールしてる？
あ、ネットで化粧品買って段ボール開けました。
ダンボー
What's this? What? Okay, I'm lost on these two.
あ、ついこの間おばあちゃんから段ボールもらいました。
ル。ダンボール。
What is
今
this
日も
shit?
くだらないね。おたくんとこの芸人さん。ダンボールギャグには10ドルの価値。
Cardboard box humor is worth
美女木社長あり
$10.
がとうございます。
あの人だ。
Wait. So, okay, the mystery is deepening
あ
here.
の、実は俺、ネムちゃんのファンで。
知ってるよ。
You do?
全国民がね。
Ah, fair enough. Fair enough.
ですよね。俺を見ても何も反応がない。夢主じゃないのか。
He didn't react.
それとも
一番大変なのはタレントだ。
夢を覚えてないのか。
勉強になります。ネムちゃんみたいな国民的人気タレントを育て上げる秘訣は愛ですね。
Come on, there's got to be a mystery to this. No?
私は何もしてないよ。彼女は初めて出会った時から輝いてた。
That. Oh, backstory. Orphan. Ah, she's an orphan. There it is. There it is. She's an orphan.
子供の将来を守るのは大人の
What is your
義務
favorite
ですからね。
Kamen Rider final form? Ah, that's an interesting one. I've never actually thought. I like them all, but if I had to pick one, I lean towards. I lean towards Drive Trideron. I like, because Drive and Decade are like my two big guys, but I think I would give the edge to Drive Trideron over Decade Complete. Though, yeah, over Decade, yeah, I would. I do like Decade Complete, but I would put Drive Trideron over that one pretty much, because I do like that design. It's very sleek.
瞬く間に事務所がビッグになって君と出会えたのは運命だなネム
本当にありがとうございます社長
Oh, he's not a scummy talent scout. He's like a nurturing father.
ネムはプライスレスかけがえのない宝だ私にとっても全国民にとってもね
でも待てよなんでネムちゃんは
本当の家族じゃないから
夢の中で社長だって言わな
So
かっ
that's
たんだろ
interesting. Why didn't Nem mention that?
社長にとってネムちゃんは
I love that, like
育てた我が子のよう
like
であり
freaking Zero still had to nod a little
身
bit.
寄りのない自分を育ててくれた親のような存在だったみたいです
なるほど。
美女木社長に関してもう一つ気になる情報が
Oma Zio, not Grand Zio.
社長は長年
I like Grand Zio. A lot of people are like, he just split with his wife? What the fuck?
この事件
No, you haven't. Shut up, Fujimi.
もうネムちゃんの両親になる夢を見ていたのは美女木に違いない。彼は長年彼女と家族同然の付き合いをしてきた。なんなら本当の家族になってもいいとさえ思っていたはずだ。しかし妻と別れたショックから3人家族で過ごすもう叶わない夢を見ていた。
You're jumping to
バイアスかかっ
conclusions.
てますから参考程度に
バク、あとは頼んだぞ。
Yeah, don't jump on that, man. Don't jump on that. And out. Oma Zio, I like Grand Zio. A lot of people don't like that design, but I love it. I love Grand Zio. I don't know what it is about Grand Zio, but I love that design. But Oma Zio is really good.
おやすみなあネムちゃんどうして言わなかったあの人君の事務所の社長さんなんだろ
この夢の世界観には関係ないことかなーって
言えなかった理由があるんだな
まあいいじゃない
Okay, Nem.
笑い事じゃない
Nem.
この状況が分かってるのか誰かがナイトメアの犠牲になるかもしれないんだぞナイトメアが見せる悪夢はただの夢じゃないんだ
分かってるよ
You do?
どうしたネム
私にだって言いたくないことくらいある
Oh God, she's withholding trauma.
人助けのためだからって人の心を何から何まで探っていいの
いやそれは
ごめん言い過ぎた
Oh God, Nem, Nem, don't run off!
ネムちゃん
ネム一人で行くのは危険だ
And off to the races.
ネムちゃん
おいあれ出口じゃないのか
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna be that easy, my guy. You're gonna end up back in the cell. I'm predicting it. Wait, what? Okay, never mind. I was wrong. I'll gladly say I was wrong for that.
どうしたらここから出られるのよ
Yep, here comes the nightmare.
ネムちゃんそこから離れろ
Chainsaw!
現れたのはナイトメア
Oh, he's headless.
みんなと一緒に安全な場所へ
ネム
But who's the Oh no, wait, we already established who the woman was. So, wait, is it the wife of the Because as far as we know, this isn't a Nem. I mean, we're not... We can't confirm that this is a Nem dream at this point. It's too open-ended here. Good morning, writer. Oh, this is beautiful. Machinery. Oh shit. I love how like it fades out and then fades back into his eyes filling up. I love that. Kikai. Oh, intro. Hit the insert, baby. Hit the insert. Metal on metal action. Let's go. Hit it with the Matrix. The nightmare is strangely silent, however. Dragon Knight before your Japanese was Ghost. Ghost was your first one. I've never heard of anyone start with Ghost. That's interesting. The nightmare is oddly silent. Oh shit! Dismantle. Wait, is this a one-shot episode? Oh, he about to get crushed. That was too fucking easy, man. Yep. There's the man. There he is.
夢とは夢主の深層心理。
あの時の
He does. Wow, he actually does remember him. The Noxman cometh.
ようやくお目にかかれたな。誰だお前。
すべてを知る者。
One who knows all, huh? Wait. Wait. Ah, he's back. Wait, a second nightmare?
お前、ナイトメアに何をした？
明晰夢の力が使えるのはお前だけだと思ったか？
Wait, you're a lucid dreamer? What the fuck? Okay, the plot thickens. What is happening?
ここは脱出不可能な死の監獄。
死の監獄ってどういう意味だ？
夢が現実に残すはかすかな痕跡。夢のみを求める者は決して真実にたどり着けない。
Those who seek in dreams will never arrive to the truth.
もしやブラックケースとミステリーサークルはナイトメアの痕跡。ナイトメアはこいつじゃない。
Oh, they figured it out. That's not the true nightmare. What are we getting into here? Oh shit! Wait, what? Why did he do that? What? I don't understand it. Oh, the prison itself is the nightmare.
ナイトメアはこの監獄そのものだったんだ。
Holy shit! What the fuck? The prison itself is the nightmare. Oh, that is nightmare fuel. Oh, the tail left that mark.
だとすれば俺たちがいる場所はナイトメアの体内。
ナイトメアの体内。
出口なき監獄の中でその命が尽きるまでせいぜい逃げ惑うがいい。
For an exit that doesn't exist. Whoa. For what?
どうして夢主たちを苦しめるんだ？
人間は誰にも言えない秘密を抱える。
Everyone holds secrets
そしてその苦
that
しみ
can't
から
tell
逃れたが
anyone.
って
They
るん
seek
だ。
to escape from that pain.
秘密
本当にこんなところから出られるの？
大丈夫、きっと出られるから。
いや引き返そう。
どうして？
ここから脱出するのは不可能なんだよ。
それじゃ永久に閉じ込められたままだよ。
ああ、永久に生き続けよう。監獄の中で。
Wait, what the fuck?
ねむ
I'm
レイコさん、社長、なんでネムちゃんを連れて行くんだ？
it's the mother, the quote unquote mother. It's her dream. She got left behind.
ですから美女木社長の命がかかってるんです。別れた理由を教えてください。
まあもうあの人に義理もないし。
Wait,
何のことですか？
she's awake. Okay,
あ
I'm
の
wrong.
人は変わってしまったの。4年前の事故で。
Wait, what? The accident? Ooh, what accident? What accident? Okay, so it is the father. Okay, never mind. I misread that. What accident? Oh no! Oh shit! Nem is dead! What the fuck?
次回仮面ライダー Z。俺だって認めたくありません。
No, she's in a coma! I called it! Yes! I called that shit!
今度こそネムを助けられる。
やめて。
約束するよ。こんな悪夢から目を覚まそう。俺は
I called that shit!
極秘防衛機関。
Your boy called it! She's in a coma! Let's go! Yes! I'm the man! I am Nostradamus! Yo! I called it! I called that shit! Yes! I'm clairvoyant! I am clairvoyant! Yes! I am vindicated! Yes! Oh, I am so vindicated, it hurts. I am so vindicated, it hurts. Oh my god. I called that! Holy shit. I called that shit last week. I said she has to be in a coma. She's in a fucking coma! Oh my god. Oh my god. I can't believe I called that. Holy fuck. Oh my god. Oh. Vindication. If my model could raise its hands over its head, it would. That's fucking. Oh. Beautiful. Beautiful. Unfortunately, it wasn't Nem's dream. It ended up not being Nem's dream, but it was someone close to Nem. And to find out, because here's the thing, it gives the impression the prison was a metaphor for the coma, in a sense, but it wouldn't make sense to do that in Nem's mind. It wouldn't make sense to do that. So instead, it would make sense for it to be someone close to her, right? So in his mind, the prison was kind of in a way kind of like the coma, right? So it was kind of like a metaphor, but also, like the nightmare made it manifest. You know what I mean? He's not been the same because he lost Nem. In his mind, Nem is gone, but she's in a coma if the preview is anything to go by, because she's literally in the hospital in a coma. But that begs the question, how have they kept that a secret for 4 years? How have they kept that a secret for 4 years? Like, that Nox can alter the nightmare. Yeah, absolutely. So it begs the question, though, how? What? Also, why is chat not showing up? The heck? It raises a lot of questions, but I think the big one that we need to answer is, how did they hide it for 4 years? Because Nem is still a household name, and she's still showing up in a lot of shit, right? Like, my money is on AI, right? My money is on AI. They probably have like a stand-in and then use AI to put Nem's face over it, right? That's what I think. I don't know if they'll like directly acknowledge it, but that's my theory at least, right? But yeah, Scruffin, the way they set it up at the end made it look like she's dead. But then if you look in the preview, there's a shot of her wearing in a hospital bed, like messed up, wearing an oxygen mask. So she's in a coma. That's what it ended up being. I called it. So, man, I can't believe I called that shit. Like, I was about to admit defeat, and then the preview came on and showed a shot of her in the hospital bed, and it's like, boom, boom, coma. How can Nox be in the dreams? Here's the thing. He said that he also controls the power of lucid dreaming, which, if we're to take the leaked suit at face value, it means that he was possibly, and this is a wild theory, because he has a suit. I mean, we didn't see it, but if he has a suit and he's going to Henshin at some point, that means that 1, he was a lucid dreamer, and 2, he was given that power, which means that he is a disgraced code agent. That's what I think. He is the Trevelyan to Baku's James Bond. You know what I mean? This is GoldenEye all over again. He seems like he do things directly. Basically, he realized that basically, I would say that Zero disavowed him for, because using his powers to control, to control people. So I would assume it was a disavow thing. So I do believe he is a double agent. Not a double agent. Double agent would imply that he's still good. No, he is a disgraced agent. Right? No, I think here's the thing. It wouldn't make sense to bring in someone else who doesn't use capsims. It wouldn't make sense to do that. Because then you're kind of limited in the spectrum of what the toy can do, right? If we're looking at this from a design standpoint, to me, it's like, I think I think Nox's belt will actually take capsims. It's just going to be like a different form factor and a different voice, right? But I do believe that we've pretty much gotten all that down. That she was in a coma, or is in a coma, right? I mean, you mean outside the suit? Oh, okay. No, that's a possibility. But again, that doesn't necessarily mean that's going to be like you think Nox can copy anything? Actually, you know what? That does track, because he did actually freaking summon that freaking. He resummoned those machinations, but without using. Yeah, so that tracks. Your brain conjured a metaphor. I'd love to hear it. But now we know that this is inside the president's dream, the president of the talent industry. We know it's his dream. I forgot his name. Bijo. God, it was a super convoluted name. Bijoju or something like that. I didn't really not catch the name. What if Nox is Nem's nightmare? No, I don't think so. Like, if we're to speculate that, I think the president. So here's the thing. I think it's just Nem is. Oh, here it is. Damn it, I missed it. Hold on. I need to read this text. Agenting tips. Smile. Confidence leads to clear judgment. 2. Gathering information is the key to success. 3. Don't neglect your muscles. Daily effort builds a strong mind. 4. The purpose of a handkerchief is to wipe a lady's tears. 5. Act elegant to become bold. Okay, he actually wrote this down. He actually wrote this down. Only body capsules could be used on the sword. Yeah, I know. It's depending on the color, right? I think the red ones can only use sword form, and the blue ones can only use gun form. And there's supposed to be a scythe form and an axe form, which I think the green and purple use, and the scythe uses the purple, which makes the most sense. I don't know if that's true or not. Don't quote me on that, but I think it is. He used machinery on sword. Oh yeah, he did. Okay, never mind then. I don't know what I fuck. He used the blue on the sword. He did. He did. But it does mean, so that does mean there's different attacks for every form though. But we do know that there's a scythe form and an axe form coming. But in the but here's the thing. Here's the caveat. He had to turn into impact to use the sword. He couldn't stay in stream form. He couldn't stay in stream form to use the sword in sword mode because he could only use it in gun mode and blue. I could be wrong. Maybe I'm just overthinking it. But so we know that the president pretty much, this is his dream and he's never recovered. He's been a different man for 4 years, right? But like, man, they really got to answer. Well, I mean, there is an easier way to explain this. That all the ads that she's on, I mean, picture photos you can kind of Photoshop, right? So maybe a lot of those commercials aren't recent, you know? I don't know. I don't know. I was looking. The symbol has something to do with it. The symbol, I think, if you remember the book at the end of last week's episode, that symbol had the same colors as the figure inside Knox's book, right? Maybe the accident has something to do with mining stuff. It's a possibility, but it also feels very out there, right? This is the entire prison is the monster. So that wasn't a machination. That the monster is not a creation of the dream, right? That monster is the nightmare. So he didn't. Yeah. Also, I can't wait to see how Baku actually destroys this prison. Like, I gotta see how he does that, because if that thing escapes to the real world, oh, that is it. And he's only one door away. Because if that thing escapes to the real world, that is going to be a problem. Right? So ultimately, we now know. Oh, Bijoji. That's his name, Bijoji. So the president, does he do it Geet style? That is actually a good question. Wait! Hold on. They just went back to the office. With Nem in it. With Nem and the president. And one of the posters said something about construction. Hold on. It's a few seconds in. She's standing there, and one of the posters says something. Don't miss a word. Moving is a snap. We'll all put all into our move. We'll put our all into your move, and then taking construction into the future. I don't know if that means anything, because the ad already exists there. So I don't know if that means anything. But that is, yeah. But the prison has a lot of saw, but does also have a body in the real world. That's why the picture of her in a hospital bed, like, says a lot, right? Because without that, it could have just been mourning over Nem being dead. But if you look at the shot, of the, if you look at the shot in the preview for next week, she's in a hospital bed. To me, that screams she's in a coma. But that begs the question, that does beg the question, what the hell happened? Like, because that is a lot of pictures, and the way that was set up makes it seem like she's dead. But then you showed her in a hospital bed, so either she is dead or that was a flashback. I don't know if it has anything to do with mining per se. Again, there's not enough to go on, except for the fact that they were in what looked like a refinery of sorts. But again, mining doesn't seem like something an idol would advertise for. You know what I mean? For a moment, he seemed like a creep. I don't know if that's what it was. I mean, in the dream, it feels jank because that's the subconscious doing that shit. But I think it's mainly that he's still mourning, right? Because I don't think, because here's the thing, he's pretty old. He's an older guy, so I don't think like he was interested in Nem like that. He was interested in Nem as a father, right? Even though she didn't consider him a father, she just considered him her boss. But he wanted her to call her father, and I think that's what it was more than anything. He's trying to be a concerned parent. I get it does come off a little creepy, but I don't think that is something I don't think the implications are as fucked up as we think they are, right? If she had powers before her coma, no. And the reason I say that is because here's the thing: she's been in a coma for 4 years. I feel like she picked that up, right? You're trapped inside your own mind for so long, you get stir crazy, right? So when she realized that she had that she was in a dream world and she could enter other people's dreams, which I think that is the power in and of itself, that she can enter other people's dreams. But like she already realized she was in a dream. She could already control it, and then she gained the ability to um she gained the ability to crap, I'm blanking. Pretty much gained the ability to go into others' dreams and pretty much further honed her craft. You know what I mean? So to me, I think this is just simply a case of um, because she's been in a coma for so long, she pretty much attained the abilities herself, right? Unless, of course, it could also be a case of she's a prodigy, right? Because remember, this is a Takahashi female lead. And normally, what are Takahashi's female leads known for? What are they known for? They're known for being Deus Ex Machinas. They're like a means to an end. They're like the big plot point. So, Nem, I don't think is dead, right? I truly do not believe Nem is dead. Because again, you can't have a dead character be the Deus Ex Machina if she's dead. You know what I mean? So for me personally, I think she's just in a coma, and then like she honed her powers in the coma. That's what I think. Um. So ultimately, now I don't know how we talk, because here's the thing: I'm kind of like left at an impasse here. With this episode, I don't know how you resolve it because the wife is pretty much we've ruled out it was the wife. She is done. Like she said her piece because she pretty much gave us the lead into that he's been a different man for 4 years. Now, do I think the last door is going to open? No, I think we're going to get a situation very similar to last week where the door half opens and then ZETZ finds a way to stop it. Because here's the thing. You can't, the logistics of having a nightmare that big take place into the real world, that is out of the budget. I don't think they have the budget for that. But I do believe that it will get very close because I do believe Impact, like, we're punching holes in the fucking floor. Knox wanted the president to sacrifice himself so she could reveal more stuff on the accident. Here's the thing. I feel like this is going to be, and it actually is like Knox, the way Knox talks, right? The way Knox talks, it kind of lends itself to a credence, right? He said, those who are deemed to not look outside the dream, I don't remember the exact phrase, but it was something around those lines like, if you don't look out, if you just look at what's in the dream, you're not going to understand anything, right? Is the wife in the dream? It's the real deal. It's the real deal. Because when they speak to her, it's the same woman. When the PADs speak to her, it's the same woman. Like, so the thing is, at that point, it was like the real. Because here's the thing: they had just separated the day before, and to him, it didn't seem real, right? So that's why she was in the dream, and then in that last bit, once he realized that she's no longer in the picture, that's when like fucking bolt with just Nem, right? Like it sat in. What if Nox creates the nightmares? Here's the thing, we don't know that. There's nothing that points to, he can summon the nightmares. Like, but I don't think he outright creates them because the butterfly like absorbs the nightmare and then heads off. I don't think he creates the nightmares. I think the nightmares are explained somewhere else. Like a dream vision of her instead of her being in the prison dream. No, 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 no. Like, obviously, the one in the dreams is not the actual wife. That one is a fabrication of the dream, right? The nightmares are primordial. Maybe. I mean, if we're looking at the book lore, they are They could be, but I think that just comes from the primordial. I mean, if we're going by that logic, it is the primordial subconscious. You know what I mean? Because I've mentioned this before. The subconscious, for some reason, but can he do like exchange? I don't think so. It's not. That's not how that works. Like, it has to be the person suffering from the nightmare, as far as we can tell. But my big thing is because nightmares have existed since humanity has existed, right? And I mentioned this before. The subconscious has a propensity for negative thought, right? This is why like a lot of people are never. This is why like mental health, right, is like such a big problem because the subconscious seems to have its own issue where it's like deformative, right? Like for some reason your subconscious dreams up the most fucked up shit, right? So the nightmares are not so much how we perceive them here, even though like this is how they are now, but they probably evolved from man's actual, subconscious psyche, right? I'm no psychology major, so I could be this could be a total ass pull what I'm saying, but I truly believe that like if we're going by that logic, the nightmares were born off of man's own fears and insecurities. That's what the subconscious feeds off of. And the fact that these physical nightmares, these nightmares that take on a physical form, they like they kind of like amplify it. Have a good night, Scruffin. Good, thanks for coming by, man. But I think the nightmare monsters amplify that negativity. It's not so much that they exist; they feed off of that and then take form within the dream. Like they don't start as physical beings per se, but they feed off of the negativity in there to become a being that can then manipulate the dream. But man, the amount of negative that the president must be harboring, the Bijoji, the amount of negative he must have been, like that has to have been his hatred, his fear, his 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 sense of loss and mourning. Like that had to be a lot for that nightmare to take that fucking size. Like holy fuck. The plot twist of the prison being the nightmare is just so crazy. But now, like, we now know a lot that there's really not a lot to speculate there. All we need to do is to figure out what happened in them, right? And again, the prison. If we have to look at the prison as if not part of the dream. The prison was formed by the prison is the nightmare. So this isn't something created specifically by the dreamer's subconscious. So what is it then? What is the actual dream? Right? So there's a lot there. And because this is not a prison of the president's creation, if those symbols are anything to go by. This is entirely made up by the nightmare. But the nightmare is still feeding into the president's psyche. So actually, if we look at this, hold on. Because I just let me take a look, because they did show us the mind doors. They did show us the mind doors. So we can kind of piece something together from that. Okay, zoom ahead a little bit. That's where the symbol was. We're in the nightmare's body. Okay. Buzzsaws, pictures, chainsaw men. So, yeah, I'm very much leaning. Wait, buzzsaws, maybe blueprints? Okay, so I'm leaning into this being more of a construction accident. I'm leaning more towards this being a construction accident. Right? To me, that's what makes the most sense, because again, we have this guy, they have this machinery dude made out of chainsaws, right? We have buzz. It's definitely something regarding a saw of some sort. A rogue, like a rogue, make a rogue saw blade, like hit Nem? God, that is. Because again, we are looking inside the mine's door. So we got buzz saws. We got pictures of this symbol. Wait, I'm trying to see if there's like a location to that. Oh no, those were the arrows. And then the buzzsaw, and then the chainsaw. Okay, that is. No, now I'm like kind of tripping here. All the traps that they've encountered: buzzsaws, arrows. No, wait. The arrows themselves, I think, were rebar. Okay, so no, I'm on the right track here. So this definitely feels like it was a construction accident. This definitely feels like it was a construction accident, not a mining accident. I'm going to say this was a construction accident. So I mean, that's the only thing I can gather from what we're looking at here. Like, I can't really see anything else here that would give any other hint, because the traps were very specific. It was buzzsaws, trap shooting rebar, like shooting like actual rebar, like bars, like metal bars, and then you had the chainsaw monster, right? So I'm going to make my prediction for next week. I do quite honestly believe we're looking at a construction accident. I think that is what took Nem. I think that's what claimed Nem there. A construction accident. Now, what that construction accident entails, I don't know, but it definitely has something to do with those three things, right? I don't think she got impaled. That'd be a little bit too extreme. I don't think she got impaled, but definitely probably got like, maybe like debris fell on her, right? I don't want to say a demolition accident, because there would be no buzzsaws in a demolition. So I would definitely say it was a construction accident. Because if we're looking more closer towards the one of the posters, like helping you construct a better future and shit, like the hints are there. So I'm going to put my money down on construction accident. That's what got Nem. And once they figure that out, well, what does his subconscious see? Because here's the thing. That's what we think what happened to Nem. Now, what is the presidency? What's the president's biggest fear? Right? Nem is not dead. Nem is not dead. But the president's biggest fear is if she dies. Because if the hospital were to call him tomorrow and tell him that Nem is dead, or at the very least in this dream, if something were to happen to Nem, it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. And the beast, the nightmare, takes over. So ultimately, it's to help them escape. Baku has to help them escape, but also make sure that nothing happens to Nem. Right? Those are my thoughts. I do believe next week we are looking at that is the resolution. They'll find out that she's not dead, she's in a coma, and that what will open the last door as if something happens to Nem, and that's why the guy ran away with Nem at the end of the dream, because trying to protect her, trying to save her from fate. And if he fails to do so, the nightmare taketh over. Now, I'm very adamant that the nightmare will not succeed because, again, that's a huge ass nightmare. And again, I don't think. Here's the thing: you only get budget for some really high quality battles in Kamen Rider maybe like 3 or 4 times a year. I don't think you're going to waste it when you already use the big budget. You're already using a lot of the budget on the Inception style things that you're already doing in the series. It's too early to start pulling out insane battle shit, insane CGI shit. It's too early for that. So I do quite believe that he will end the nightmare before the last door is opened. But the brunt of the next episode is finding out where the accident took place. That's what I'm saying. So, that being said, that's where I'm leaving my prediction. I predict they're going to find out she's in a coma and then find out the president, in order to save him, is to figure out what that last door is. And that last door is if something bad happens to Nem. That's what will open it. So he's going to protect Nem with his goddamn life. And that's how we end next episode. And on that note, it is time for me to wrap up this episode of the Kamen Rider ZEZTZ-udan. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you're watching this after the fact, we do this every Saturday as ZETZ is going on, and after the episode airs is when we do this. So if you guys want to watch live, by all means come on in. But regardless on if you're here live or you're watching this later, I will always read chat, and I will always read comments. So please, by all means, let me know your predictions for next week's episode of Kamen Rider ZETZ. I'd love to hear them right here. I check my comments as much as I can every week. So please leave your predictions for next week in the comments. Or if you decide to come to our next episode live, leave them in the chat. I'm always ready to hear them. Until then, guys, this has been the Kamen Rider ZETZ-udan. I will see you tomorrow for the #1 Sentai ZEZTZ-udan, which will probably be a more chill fare. We got there. Hey, it's starting to ramp up. The series is starting to ramp up. So, ZEZTZ are starting to get good. So I will see you guys next time. And remember, the future is in your hands. It's up to you to seize it. Until then, take it easy. Peace.